Dear friends, we are about to start in 5 minutes. Please stay a while. The resource person has to join. Thank you. Dear friends, we are waiting for the resource person. She is yet to join. Please stay a while. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, madam. Hello, good evening, madam. Am I audible?
Yeah, Uma, you are audible. Welcome, Uma,
Okay, okay.
to the webinar.
Sorry, madam,
Thank you
for
so
being
much.
late. Actually, there
And
was a problem with the screen sharing.
okay. No problem, Uma. We are waiting for you only. Thank you so much. Dear
Sorry.
participants, shall we start, Uma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Respected dignitaries and dear participants, welcome back to the webinar 5 of webinar series 2 and a great evening to one and all. Myself, Dr. Uma Devi, I think no need of introduction of me. Even then, myself, Dr. R. Uma Devi, Assistant Professor of Commerce and convener of this webinar series. This is the last webinar in this year 2021. We successfully completed two webinar series during the pandemic with a motto of continuous and safe learning with your continuous support and active participation. We tried our level best to focus on the current burning issues, irrespective of the discipline, as ours is the only discipline that is humanity. Hope we have succeeded to some extent in deriving solutions to some alarming issues. Today, we come forward with a burning issue of all working community in order to derive some useful conclusions. According to Anna Cox, a professor of human computer interaction at UCT, work life balance means feeling in control of how you balance the various demands of all aspects of life to enable well being and avoid illness. It should involve happiness, fulfillment, and job satisfaction. The COVID 19 pandemic is the first and foremost human disaster in 2020, which caused a crisis in all industries and sections of the economy. It changed the human life in all dimensions, including working environment. The pandemic continues to have significant impact on people's work and daily life. One of the most significant changes in um, how people work is the expanded application of working from home. Working from home has been growing rapidly since the pandemic began, particularly after the first state of energy was declared in April 2020 in response to the pandemic's first wave. Work life balance has always been an issue once individuals begin to work out of the home without the usual level of control over their working hours or the responsibilities allotted to them at work. Work life balance can be defined as an individual's ability to meet their work and family commitments as well as other non work responsibilities and activities. Outside working hours, leisure relates to non work activities, whereas free time by definition is not committed to any activity. The difficulty in defining life balance lies in the fact that all these factors play a role in the determining whether the individual feels this balance has been achieved. Achieving a balance is not about giving equal time to each of these areas. Instead, it is having the ability to allocate enough time, labor, and thought so that individuals are satisfied. All the employees face the challenge of finding the right work life balance. The ability of employees to deal with the successful combining of work, family responsibilities, and personal life is crucial for both employers and family members of employees. During the COVID 19 emergency situation, many people around the world were forced to work from home. Initially, there were observed some certain expectations about the possibility of working from home as a positive factor that will promote work life balance. However, Over time, negative tendencies were also revealed as employees were only one call or message away from the employer, and uncertainty and leisure time with family often created more stress. As many organizations and individuals were not ready for this sudden change, many mistakes were made, which further raised the issue of work life balance. Many of us will continue to work from home, simultaneously juggling multiple roles for some time to come during the pandemic. With the ongoing pandemic, which has caused high unemployment rates in many countries worldwide, it might seem ironic to talk of work life balance. However, no matter how pressing the need for employment, it is essential to understand how best individuals can experience satisfaction inside and outside working hours. On this backdrop, we, the Department of Commerce, in association with IQAC, is organizing this webinar on work-life balance amidst the pandemic. This webinar will focus on the impact of COVID-19 on working environment and work-life balance of employees in the changing environment, importance of work-life balance in life, how to balance our work life during challenging times, and also provide insights about how to balance our work life and ways to redefine a work life balance during the pandemic. This is an interactive session. You can clarify your doubts with the resource person at the end of the session. Now, I request Dr. Yoginder Singh, HOD of Commerce, to deliver inaugural address. Sir,
Thank you,
you can
ma'am.
say. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. You are audible.
So, good evening, one and all. Respected Principal, Dr. SRK Government Arts College, Yanam, respected participants, respected colleagues, and dear students, I feel honored to invite all of you, to welcome all of you in this program, National Webinar Series 2, program number 5. So it's our pleasure to invite today resource person P. Uma Maheshwari, head of the Department Commerce and Management, Adi Kavi, Nanya University, Rajahmundry. We are grateful to you for your valuable time we get to share with you, ma'am. So the topic for the today this national webinar is work-life balance amidst pandemic. So this webinar will certainly help us how to keep or how to maintain a balance in work life and daily routines, and to stay healthy and prosperous, and how to run a safe life during this pandemic. So thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to call my colleague Dr. Aruma Devi to kindly introduce the today's resource person.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your address. Before introducing our esteemed resource person, Dr. P. Uma Maheshwari Devi, first of all, let me thank her for the immediate acceptance to address the session, even with her hectic schedule. Thank you, ma'am, for your gracious presence, and we are highly privileged to have your insightful address. Um, Dr. P. Uma Maheshwari Devi is presently working as Assistant Professor of Commerce and Head of the Department of Commerce and Management with 14 years of experience in Adikavi Nannaya University. She pursued her PhD from University of Hyderabad in 2015 and MPhil from Andhra University in 2005. She qualified twice UGC NET in management in 2004 and 2005. She had a MBA in marketing from Geetham College, Vishakhapatnam in 2002. She had completed her MCOM from IGNOU in 2018. She also qualified AP Set in Commerce in the year 2018. Her area her area of expertise includes her area of expertise includes services, marketing, advertising, strategic management, SPSS, and MOs, particularly in exploratory factor analysis, confirmatory factor analysis, and structural equation modeling. She had a great treasure of knowledge and many feathers in her crown. She had rich research experience. She had completed 2 research projects, one is ongoing, authored 22 research papers and 7 books, organized 8 conferences and 6 workshops, and 8 state level management meet programs such as Busy Buzz, Invictus, Hispanic, Adroit, like that, etc. Um, she had acted as invited speaker in 15 webinars and workshops, and also chaired 7 sessions in international and national seminars and conferences. She presented papers in 18 international and national seminars and conferences. She is guiding and awarded 3 full-time research scholars and 2 part-time research PhD scholars. She had 2 fellowships in her academic basket. One is from Andhra Pradesh, Netherlands Biotechnology Program Fellowships for pursuing her PhD, and qualified in Rajiv Gandhi National Fellowship. She had not only research skills but also vast administrative skills. She is working as secretary of Women's Cell, head and head of the Department of Commerce and Management, nodal officer for University College of Arts and Commerce, SCST liaison officer, treasurer, Kanti Kandukuri Trust, uh, and member Equal Opportunity Cell of Adikavi Nannaya University. Her academic outreach is also awesome. She is serving as Board of Studies member for few affiliated colleges of Adikavi Nannaya University, and she is serving as departmental committee member from September 2012. Attended serving as academic council member few affiliated colleges of Adikavi Nannaya University. She is serving as head of the Department of Commerce and Management Studies at Kavi Nanaya University. So these are the few feathers we have highlighted. Thank you, ma'am, for knowing your achievements, and we are heartily welcome to you. Please, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, madam. Madam, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, Uma.
Actually, there is
Yeah,
a problem with my laptop, so suddenly I had to switch off the phone. Because of that, there was a delay also, madam. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Okay, no problem. You are.
And thank you very much, madam. Thank you for your good introduction. First of all, I have to thank you so much. You have invited me as a speaker. Thank you so much, madam. And coming to the presentation, respected our principal, sir, Bhaskar Reddy Garu, convener Dr. Umadevi madam, and other conveners, faculty members, and my dear students, a very good evening to everyone. First of all, I have to thank the college administration, principal sir, and madam for giving me the permission to present for this particular webinar series. So it's a great privilege. I thank you all once again. And also I have to express my sorry for being late because of the technical issue. So please kindly bear with me. I'm doing it on my mobile because of sudden technical problem. Okay, so as you all know, the topic which I have selected for today, it's all about work-life balance. Okay, and especially during the pandemic. So as you all know, the pandemic has changed the lives of the people. So we are all like in a situation of uncertainty. So there are many things which have changed in our lives, and especially coming to the work-life balance, it has been highly affected. So today I'll be just trying to speak about what is work-life balance and what are the main factors related to work-life balance, and especially what are the management strategies to be adopted, especially during the pandemic. So it may continue also. So what type of strategies organizations have to adopt in order to continue with the present working from home scenario. Okay, so as you all know, work, family, and personal life, they should be complementary to each other and they should not conflict with each other. So, as you all know, some are very successful in their careers, but some of them fail in the family and personal life. Whereas at the same time, you can also see that some have vibrant personal and family life, but they are very below at work. So, it is understood that some are successful in one sphere of life at the cost of the other, which is not at all a healthy sign. So, in the long run, we can understand that family happiness and a decent personal life are especially the main determinants of a successful career. So, a balancing act is very much required for all these things. So, though it is understood that those who are very satisfied with their personal lives, they are very much satisfied with their careers in the future and they perform better. So everything in life has a balance or has to have a balance. So work-life balance, when we say especially, we are mainly telling about creating a life that flows through us rather than life you have to power through. So it is mainly we are speaking about the quality of life, trying to find out a happy balance between works, friends, and family. So I'll just share the screen 1 second. Are you able to see my screen? Excuse
Yes,
me.
ma'am.
Are you able to see my screen?
We are able to, but the screen is showing very small. The can you?
Okay.
Madam, it is better to set the landscape.
You are
Landscape.
presenting in a phone, no? You make it a landscape. You reverse it, or else can I present it from my side?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. You can
Yeah,
go
can
in
I?
that way also.
Yeah.
That's better. Yes, ma'am.
You
Yes.
close that one, then I can present it from here. Okay,
Okay,
then
ma'am.
you close it.
Okay, so we can understand that work-life balance mainly it is trying about the level of satisfaction. Actually, the satisfaction involved between the different roles in an individual life. So we all perform various roles as a teacher, mother, okay, or it might be as a sister. So how much satisfaction we have between our personal life, our family life, and especially the life as a career. Okay, you might be a teacher or a doctor. So how satisfied are we? So we can say that it is like trying to see a fit between the various roles of life. Okay, so coming to the various definitions, they are mainly trying to tell about work-life balance as the level of satisfaction. Okay, it is mainly defined as the satisfaction or the healthy and productive life, which we can see. Okay, so you all know work-life balance mainly it is speaking about the quality of life, how to balance our life with the personal life, family life, and also the work life. So if you understand the present economic scenario, present we are living in a world, okay, where we are actually living in a very fast-paced global environment. And if we observe ourselves, work is taking over the lives of us, and we are all not able to protect ourselves against work-life imbalances. Okay, mainly because of which we are facing various kinds of issues. It might be the family conflicts, or it might be the stress resulting from working long hours, or it might be we can say you can say it is a workload which is actually disturbing us a lot. Okay, so we can understand that we are all being affected by the stress because of working for a long time, and this is all happening because we are not able to balance ourselves. we are missing the balance or work-life balance. So, and especially if you observe the present pandemic situation, it has changed the lives of the people. Okay, if we can observe, we are actually in a situation where there's a no boundary personal life and work life. It has actually removed the boundaries. So there is no, we can say there is no time or no special schedules or no hours, no business hours. Previously, it was we had some special office hours. Now it's not like that. It's like all hours for everything. So we have to be in the morning, evening, or anytime we have to attend the calls, we have to attend the meetings, we have to be in office. Because of this, working from home has actually created certain problems. Of course, it is advantages. At the same time, it also has brought some difficulties. So because of which, work-life balance is a very important issue in the present scenario. Okay, so we'll see what are the important factors especially affecting the work-life balance. So to understand the work-life balance in a clear and better way, we need to know what are the main factors which actually affect the work-life balance. So we have various theories also. Before going into that, we'll just look into the theories which tell about the work-life balance. So before slide, madam, theories of work-life balance. The before slide, madam, it is. Just quote the before slide, which speaks about the theories of S. So we have different theories, especially the spillover theory, which mainly speaks about the work and the family life, how they affect each other. Okay, so they say that there is always a work family interference. Okay, we are either interfering with the family or family is interfering in our work. That is mostly told by the spillover theory. Then we have other theory like the segmentation theory. Segmentation theory mainly tries to say that the work and family or lives are two different kinds of segments. Okay, so they are independent of each other. And we have other theory called the compensation theory. Mainly the compensation theory mainly says that if we are not happy in our family life, it will be compensated with the work life. Or if we are not happy with the work life, it will be compensated through our family life. And the other theory, which is the congruence theory, mainly tells about the other factors like it might be the personality or education or other factors which affect the work life balance. Okay, so these are important theories which are trying to explain the concept of work life balance. So actually work life balance, it has been defined by various people in various ways, trying to give a clear understanding, okay, what it might be. So according to some people, they mainly focused on two main important dimensions like work life balance, how it is interfering with the personal life. Okay, so they call it as personal life interference with work, and the other one, the other people, they call it as work life interference with personal life. And also they are categorized into three categories like the work life interference with personal work, personal life interference with work, and also the personal life enhancement. Okay, and in simple words, some people try to say that it is like absence of conflicts between the personal life and the work life. So that is according to one group of researchers who try to explain the work-life balance in that way. Okay, there are also other people who try to say mainly in terms of satisfaction. They said that if you are satisfied in all domains, okay, mainly the family, personal, and social life, then we can say we have achieved the work-life balance. So they are trying to say that how well our different roles are balanced in our lives. So the roles according to the different stages of life. So the work-life balance, we can say it is also depends upon the perception of the individual, how the individual perceives the things, and also it mainly depends upon his values, attitudes, and all. So these also have an important role in affecting the work-life balance. So coming to the various factors which affect the work-life balance. So we have the main factors like they are categorized mainly into three categories. That is individual factors, organizational factors, and at the same time we have factors like the personal factors. So the individual factors mainly they are speaking about the personality. Okay, so as you know, personality is a very important factor which affects the work-life balance. See, personality actually influences the perception, how we think, what is our attitude towards work and all. So, based on research, it has been understood that personality acts like a moderator, okay, between actually our attitude towards the job. And according to research, it has been understood that personality, there's a positive correlation between personality and job involvement. So personality is one important factor which actually has an important bearing on how we look at things, how we understand things, how we manage our roles. Then the second thing is well-being. So well-being is mainly it tells about the state of mind, especially the reasonable harmony we have between our needs, abilities, and expectations, and the environmental demands and options. Okay, so the well-being is a very important factor for organizational effectiveness. Okay, well-being mainly tells about our physical and mental well-being. It is actually related very much with the organizational effectiveness. So we can say it is like a catalyst or a vehicle for social change. So the well-being of a person also is dependent upon the factors like the pay factors, the promotions, the working conditions which influence employee well-being. The other important factor which is affecting the work-life balance is mainly we can say it is the emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is a very important thing, how we manage our emotions, how we balance our emotions. So the person who is able to manage the emotions or who is able to do it in a well, he is very successful, he is able to achieve the goals. So he's automatically is able to perform very well in his organization, and because of that it is actually indirectly reflecting on the organization performance. So the emotional intelligence has very much to do with the organizational performance, well-being, and the success of the organization. So emotional intelligence is really playing a very critical role. The emotional intelligence of a person mainly tells about his innovations, his readiness, his job satisfaction, and indirectly it has a more impact on work-life balance. Then coming to the organizational factors. So the organizational factors mainly we have one important thing is the flexible working arrangements. So the work arrangements, it has a direct reflection on the work-family conflict. So if we are having flexible timings, automatically we are very satisfied and we do our work very well. So the flexible work timings are very much important than the flexible locations at work. So it has been found in from the research that part-time is actually an important flexible working arrangement, and it has found that those people have achieved more work-life balance, the part-timers mainly. And it is also understood that organizations should have some flexible time schedules. So if they are able to implement that, it will really help the organization in many ways. Then another important thing is the leadership support. The leadership, the type of relationship that is there between the supervisors and the employees. So it's very important to understand that employees leave the bosses, not the jobs. Okay, so they are so much attached to the supervisors. So if the supervisors are like encouraging, supporting, or they provide the necessary rewards or awards, automatically the employee feels a kind of security or comfort. He's satisfied with the job, and he generally he feels less stress because of the good relationship he's actually having with the superior, and this automatically indirectly tends to increase his commitment and is also his performance for the organization. So it increases the productivity. And coming to the role related factors, it's also another factor which affects the work balance. Like see, we have some people who are have high level of emotional involvement with the jobs. So generally these people they are more attached to the jobs and they have some problem like they may not be doing enough justice to the family, so they have work family conflicts. Okay, so that is also depending upon the type of attachment or importance we are giving to the either it might be the job or the family, depending on the type of the role we are performing, it also has an impact on the work life balance. It is from the research it is understood that generally employees of old age category, and especially the female employees who are having children, especially small children, they are actually undergoing more stress, and they are finding it difficult to balance the work life balance, mainly because of the it might be because of their burdens, extra burdens, and also the workload is also another important thing. So the workload, most of the employees, if there is more workload, they feel a lot of stress, and especially it has an effect on the work-life balance. Then coming to the technologies, the policies adopted by the organizations. So it is very important that the company should have proper policies, correct policies, which are very much suitable for the development of the employees. So in that situation, the employees feel very satisfied and they are ready to work for the organization. And the other important thing is the technology. So the technology, as you all know, it's a very important factor which is actually helping in work-life balance. So we all understood the role of the technology and present in the pandemic era where everything was done mainly using the technology. Okay, so we are able to access emails from the multitude of from large number of devices, and we are able to communicate. We are able to create 24 into 7 communication culture. We are able to generate that culture mainly because of the technology. So we are able to meet our work expectations, and also we are able to speed up our works mainly because of the technology. So we can understand that technology is having a very important bearing on the work-life balance. It has created a work culture mainly where the employees are free to access from home and work from home. Okay, so because of this, it has actually helped to strike a balance between the family and work life. Then the job stress is another factor, which is actually a very very important factor which affects the organization, or which leads to various kinds of organizational problems, mainly the low productivity or the increased absenteeism. These are all because of the stress factor. So I have to say that the long working hours actually lead to various kinds of stress problems. So the stress affects not only the society, not only the individual, but also the people who are with him, and indirectly it affects the community. So the psychological stress which is resulting from the long working hours leads to various kinds of mental and health problems. So it is understood from the research that most of the various important problems like the health problems, mainly from the heart diseases, the liver diseases, the lung problems, okay, and the anxiety, depression, all these are mainly because of the stress. So stress is actually one of the important factor which is affecting the employees work balance, work life balance, we can say. It is also leading the employees, or you can say the people, general in people, to get into various kinds of problems, like various kinds of bad habits. Okay, and also it is indirectly affecting the family life. They are not able to have good relationships. It is affecting their health, and also it is leading to various kinds of depressions and anxiety. So job stress, it's a very important factor which the organizations have to really be careful. For a perfect work-life balance, the stress has to be reduced. And ultimately it is the culture. So as you all know, the culture, it's something which binds us together, which binds and holds the people together. So it's one of the important factors for determining the employee satisfaction or dissatisfaction. So strong organizational culture, it mainly shows that there is better communication and increasing the cooperation is there. Okay, and strong culture actually acts as like a catalyst in enhancing the willingness, and also mainly the trust of the employees. Okay, so we can understand that the organizations which are having a good culture, organization culture, automatically the employees are very much satisfied, and we can understand that they'll perform well, and it reduces the stress. So culture plays a very important thing. Then the other factors, we can say it is like the social factors. So mainly the social factors we can mainly speak about the family involvement, the family support, and also the responsibilities of the parents. So it is found that the marital status, especially long working hours, the childcare responsibilities, and the support from the head of the department, they are all important factors influencing the work-life balance. So the people who are having high level of involvement, family involvement, generally they have more, and if they are having more support from the family, they are able to do well in the careers, and they are able to succeed. But those people who are not having the correct family support, or who are having more responsibilities, like more dependent children and all, generally they are facing more stress, and also it is affecting the work life balance. Then coming to the gender variables, like so as you all know, gender has a very important effect, and based on research it is understood that the type of the employment and the type of gender, they all have a very important effect on work family conflict, especially the satisfaction level with the job, and also the job involvement. Then the other important factor is the age factor. So it is understood that generally the age people, they are expressing or experiencing high level of stress, especially in the crisis situation, or anytime where they have to handle uncertain situations. So out of these important factors, we can understood that the main important factors like the work arrangements, the flexible work arrangements, emotional intelligence, and also the technology, they are playing a very major role in affecting or in creating effective work-life balance. Okay, so the organizations have to take enough measures to see that the emotional intelligence, that is how they're balanced, the employees are balancing the emotions. They also have, the organizations have to provide the necessary technical support to the employees, so that they'll be able to yeah, use the technology and do their work in a better way. Then coming to the other important the thing of finding out of the research, it is understood that especially a transformational leadership style should be adopted by the organizations so that they can balance their work and family life in a better way. Then coming to the what is good work-life balance. So we are all speaking about work-life balance, and also what is good work-life balance. So when I say good work-life balance, it doesn't mean that spending 50% of time on work and 50% on family. It's about like mainly speaking about how much satisfied you are with work and leisure. Okay, like you should be satisfied in both the areas. Like so you must be meeting your office deadlines, at the same time you must be having time for friends and hobbies. You must have enough time to sleep properly, eat well, without worrying about the work when you are at home. So that is what they mean by good work life balance. Okay, so there are many advantages of actually the proper work life balance. Okay, so if you are having a good healthy work life balance, automatically it reduces the stress level, and also it enhances the mental health of the people. We have advantages in terms of the physical health. We are able to improve our relationships with others. It also increases our engagement at work. It also improves our creative thinking. It makes us more productive. Okay, and ultimately we can say that we are happy. It brings happiness and fulfillment, and also it brings high level of success. Okay, so these are all the positive points with having proper work life balance. So that is why we are stressing so much on this work life balance. So at the same time, if you see the other side of the work life balance, what are the consequences, or what are the negative sides? So as I was telling you, mainly because of the work life imbalance, generally the employees are or you can say the people face various kinds of stress related illnesses. They are not satisfied anywhere, and also it leads to various kinds of family problems, diverse violence in families. And also we can say that they are addicted, becoming addicted to drugs and other kinds of habits, smoking, drinking, and all. And also we have problems with parenting, caring, taking care of the children. These are also other problems. And also the other things like the violence, we can say the attitude of the people is indirectly changing because of the work life balance. There's a lot of stress and they're not able to manage conveniently. So because of that, it is actually having an impact on the organization productivity, organizational performance. They are not successful in whatever they are doing, and so because of lack of success, they are unsatisfied. Indirectly it is affecting their health, indirectly it is affecting their family relations also. So it's a small thing, but it is actually a great thing which has an impact on every aspect of our life. So it's very important to have a healthy balance. Okay, so good work life balance is very important for the organizations. So the organizations are actually adopting various kinds of practices in order to provide help the employees. Like the organizations are providing the daycare centers, crutches wherever possible. The organizations also are equipping themselves with fitness centers. They are also trying to, some organizations they are also mainly concentrating on trying to relieve stress by having a medical hospital set of doctors, physiotherapists, counseling centers. These are all different measures being adopted by the organizations mainly to come out of this problem of work-life balance. So coming to the our important part of the topic, that is the pandemic and how it has affected the present situation. So as you all know, So we are actually, as I was telling you from previously, there's actually some sort of demarcation between work life and home life. Okay, but because of the pandemic, we are not able to exactly demarcate between the work life and the home life. So previously people used to think of having a balance between these two lives. Now it's like becoming a perfect performer. Because of the many changes which have been inculcated mainly because of the pandemic. So the pandemic, in order to protect the people from the spreading of the virus, they try to widen the gap, and they try to see that we are working from a comfortable personal life. Okay, so because of this, the various changes have been initiated. So COVID-19 has actually brought a great change in the working life balance. Okay, so if you observe the changes of the we at home, we used to only just got concerned with the office work. Now it's like at the home we have to work from the office at the same time take care of the children. Okay, the children especially because they do not have schools, and during the pandemic time it was like everything was closed. So it was a very challenging period at that time. The kitchen tables, we can understand that they have been converted into workspaces. Zoom calls, they have always have been interrupted by deliveries, frequent visits from family members and all. So work-life balance has been, we can say that it has never been so challenging like the present situation. And what is worse that we are even not able to know that when we'll come back to normal. Still we are suffering with the same problem. So if you observe, there are many changes. The employees, parents, families, educators, they all have come are very much engaged in redefining or trying to change their work environment, trying to redefine the balance between work and personal life. Okay, so many changes have been implemented because of the pandemic. Many technologies have been implemented, and the businesses are also, they were trying to come up with new ways in order to increase the flexibility for the staff and also the save money with the remote work environments. So many people, we can say that that is only not only the challenge at the time of pandemic. It was like people have lost. People were faced with other challenges, like they were suffering from illness. They have lost their friends, family members because of the virus, and also they have the new responsibilities to take care of their loved ones. So mental health, we can say, that is also one important factor which actually surrounded the pandemic. So people had to go through drastic changes, and which actually created more anxiety, and they were under more stressful conditions. So the mental health actually had to be given a big proper consideration, and especially not only now, even for the future work-life balance, this mental health has to be taken into consideration. People have new respect for the situation. So the pandemic, we can say that the pandemic has brought up new challenges for the employees in the organization. So as I was telling you, the traditional business hours are no longer existing. It's not like we don't have any special business hours. It's like all hours because of the pandemic. Okay, so that is also creating a kind of stress in the minds of the people. Anytime it's might be morning or evening, we have to be available. We have to attend the meetings. We have to finish this. So it's like a kind of stress, and we do not have any kind of privacy. So that is also, we can say that that has also affected a lot during the pandemic situation. So work-life balance at present is very important, or we can say it's more important than ever. Because everyone is in a kind of state of anxiety and stress. Of course, some organizations have only have come back to their original practices, but some organizations are still working from home. But we do not know, in the future also it might be like again we might go back to work from home. Okay, so the working from home, it was once an option, but the pandemic had actually made it into a compulsion. Okay, so we can say that this global norm will continue. Okay, so this global norm, in order to take care of this, they have come up with a new concept, that is telecommuting. Okay, so whatever we are saying, working from home, we call it as telecommuting. Okay, so telecommuting mainly it is trying to work from home. Okay, respective of the space and time. So telecommuting or working from home has many advantages, of course. When we are working from home, we are with our family members. Okay, so because of that, we are able to get the help of the family members. At the same time, we are able to reduce the burden of absenteeism. We are able to do the work whenever we are free. Okay, so we have benefits like loyalty and commitment, and also job satisfaction, and also to some extent the work-life balance and well-being. So these are all the advantages of working from home. Okay, so the working from home has certain advantages. So because of which the everywhere the work-life that is working from home has been stressed, and it has been given importance. However, there are also certain things which will help the organization, or which will help the employees better if they can use of the telecommunicating. Okay, so the telecommunicating actually, as I was telling you, it has helped to plan properly. It has helped us to recover from sickness. We were able to take care of our family members. At the same time, it also helped us to increase our job satisfaction. Okay, so these are all the advantages, or we can say the positive side of telecommuting, or we can say working from home. These advantages can really be enjoyed further, even if the organization actually provides us the necessary support. Okay, so the organization has to these benefits can be enjoyed if the organization is providing the proper support, and also support from the RPS, and also the technological support. So we all understood that though we were working from home, we are enjoying, we were also having certain problems. Okay, so the organizations have to think about the other side, or the what are the problems that were affecting the employees, or affecting the work life balance. Like most of the times, our privacy, we did not have privacy. We were not able to manage the time properly. Okay, we were not able to communicate properly when working from home. We could not get the support of the management or the base. So we'll be discussing what are the important factors actually, which got mainly affected because of telecommuting. Okay, so telecommuting, mainly the key challenges the organization has to face, especially during the pandemic. So one important, these are the four major problems organizations were facing, the employees were facing. That is procrastination, ineffective communication, work-home interference, and loneliness. So coming to work home interference. So as you all know, work home interference, like when we are working from home, we always have as I was telling you, our Zoom calls were always interrupted by either visits from the family or delivery calls. So when we were taking online classes also, most of the times we could not, we were disturbed by other kinds of works. So there's a work interference, especially when there are children and small children. Maybe we are able to manage, but still there is we cannot allocate exact time for work and exact time for home when we are at home. Okay, so the work home interference is one important problem. And actually, I could see that certain organizations now at present, the IT organizations, some organizations are also giving money to the employees, financial support to the employees, so that they can make their work home as an office. Like they are providing money for buying the furniture, equipments, tables, laptops, and other necessary equipments, so that they can have a privacy, separate rooms like office, and they can do their work in a better way. Okay, so the work home interference is one important problem. Then the other problems mainly like procrastination. Procrastination is mainly a tendency to postpone, or a tendency to delay. So generally, when we are working from home, the employees generally try to concentrate on other things and tend to delay or postpone the office works. So that also had a lot of impact on the organization performance. Then we had problems like the other important problem is ineffective communication. So ineffective communication in the sense, we were managing with the Zoom calls, we are managing with the ICT tools, but still we could not communicate properly with our like colleagues or with the top management. Mainly because we all know that ICT, there is no face-to-face communication, and face-to-face communication, there's a lot of difference between these two kinds of communication. So we were missing the main things because of that. So the ineffective communication, we all know that it has a lot of bearing on the organizational performance. When the communication is not done properly, we cannot understand many tasks properly, and it also indirectly affects the organizational performance. Then the other important thing is loneliness. So I think though we were at home, we were missing our colleagues, we were missing our the support from the employees, other employees in the organization. We were also feeling the losing the need for the social need for relatedness or being with others. Like we did not have any kind of get-togethers, meetings, face-to-face meetings. So because of that, some of the employees, it is out of the research findings, these factors have been identified. They understood that the loneliness is also another important factor, especially for certain employees, which was affecting their performance. Okay, so these are some of the important factors we can say which have actually affected the remote work during the pandemic. Okay, in addition to these things, we also have the other characteristics like the design of the work environment. There were certain factors which are favorable and also certain factors which were affecting the performance. Like one thing is job autonomy. Like we had more freedom to take decisions, like we know when to do, how to do, where to do. It's like we did not have any kind of restrictions. So whenever we had time, we could concentrate and we could do our works. So that is one way it was good for the employees in general. Okay, so there was more autonomy, we can say. Workload, coming to workload, it was identified from the research. Actually, most of the people felt that there was heavy workload working from home, because like they have to come adjust to the new things. They have to learn many things, and they felt it like a burden somehow. Out of the research findings, it is understood that they felt that the workload is heavy or high, especially during the pandemic or working from home by a period of time. Okay, and so the workload, if it is high, it is all automatically indirectly leads to more stress and it affects the performance. Okay, so that is one important factor which the organizations have to take into consideration. When because of lack of training, see, as we can understand that we as teachers actually at that time, suddenly when we were asked to take online classes, we had to prepare the PPTs. We have to understand how to make the Zoom meeting, how to attend the meeting, and all these things. So it was some kind of preparation, doing extra things which we were not used to. The same way, in the other organizations also, like they had to change the setup, they had to change the type of work and all. So because of that, the workload was high. Then monitoring is another important thing. Monitoring in the sense, actually, by working from home during the pandemic, there was monitoring, of course. Like we had frequent meetings, the employees used to have frequent meetings, and also they had to submit the reports. But that regular meeting and monitoring was also important, so that things like procrastination were avoided, and the employees could do their work regularly. Because of monitoring, they were at least ready with the reports and everything. And social support, of course, the social support was missing in the virtual work environment, because it was only working from home, so they did not have the support of the other employees or support of the organization or other things, mainly sometimes, which actually hindered or affected their work performance. Okay, so these are some of the, we can say, the organization design characteristics of the quality of the work factors, which actually affected or created disturbances for the work-life balance, especially during the pandemic. Then coming to the mainly the organizations have to concentrate. I have to say that on the work characteristics, they have to concentrate on the work design, the work environment, to overcome the problems of the employees had faced, like loneliness. The organizations have to make use of the advanced ICT tools, where they can provide the online environment, where there is also a chance for employees to meet together, sometimes especially informal meetings, and they can have a we can say get together, like the thing where they not feel this loneliness, and also they'll have the social support. Then another important thing is, which was also found, was this self discipline. Okay, self discipline is, it was understood from research findings that the people who are self disciplined, they could perform very well, and they could actually did not have any kind of work imbalance. Okay, but the people who were not disciplined, it was a problem with them. They were not able to commit to the task. They were not able to perform their work well, and they were not satisfied indirectly. Okay, so out of the research findings, it is understood that the employees, especially, they have to be self-disciplined in order to perform their work, especially, and order to and also in order to enjoy the balance. They have to be self-disciplined, especially when you are going for telecommuting. Okay, and the other addition things are like the quality of the communication. So the organizations have to take enough measures in order to improve the communication, the quality of the communication. See, as you all know, poor communication, it actually hinders the performance of the people. So the organizations have to think about how to facilitate high quality virtual communications, especially for the remote workers. And the organizations also have to make a main take into consideration the important thing as like the discipline, the power of self discipline. So they have to make the people aware, they have to motivate the people to be self disciplined to achieve work effectiveness and also well being. So if they are able to achieve the work effectiveness, automatically it will have a positive impact on their work life balance. So see, these are some of the management steps they have to take in order to improve the we can say telecommunicating practices. In addition to these things, the managers and the organizations also have to find new ways to manage and develop, especially go for innovative career paths, provide more support mechanisms, especially to work in this virtual work environment. The organizations also have to have flexible working practices. Okay, because of the flexible working times are playing a very important role. So the organizations only have to think about these aspects. Then the organizations also have to mainly concentrate on things like communicating with the subordinates, especially motivating them at frequent intervals, sharing information, especially, and going for close monitoring sometimes. See, especially when you are working in a remote work environment, it's very important that the management should frequently help the employees by motivating them, by supporting them, by building the trust wherever required. Okay, so we can say that though teleworking is actually a good thing, we have many positive things, and at present in the current digital age, we can save the space, and also it is actually providing a good opportunity for the labor market. It is saving our time. So even if in the future it might be like the teleworking might continue for some more years. So the organizations have to really take care of these steps. They can go with the top-down approaches. They have to concentrate mainly on how to improve the job satisfaction of the employees. Okay, so if the employees are satisfied, then automatically they will be able to have a better work-life balance in spite of the pandemic also. They can balance their works if they are properly given the proper support in indirect ways. Okay, and the other important finding which they have done out of research, especially during the pandemic period, was they understood that the one better way to lead the employees is going by management by results process. Okay, where the managers and the employees, both of them together can set their targets and they can work for it. They can identify the objectives, what are the tasks, what are the milestones, and actually they can achieve the goals for that. Okay, so this is one of the important finding which has come from the research. They are telling that the organizations can adopt practices like this. That is trying to set the objectives and trying to work for the results of the without any kind of monitoring or without any kind of other interruptions. So the employees will feel more autonomy in this kind of practice. Management practices for effective telecommuting is mainly digitalization. So as I was telling, the importance of technology. Okay, so the technology actually, we can say, it has changed the world. It has brought a new culture into the organization. So the digitalization, many the organizations have to make use of provide the necessary platform, or you can say the latest advanced technology, the cloud computing, scheduling tools, the web-based applications, which can be applied across different platforms. See, actually, we could understand that the problem, especially during the pandemic, was many of the students could not have access to our videos, mainly because of it was because of the network problems, the technical issues, and all these things. Okay, so if the organizations can work on advanced tools, where they can have applications and provide different platforms where it is facilitating a remote access and also collaborative work. So they have to focus more on digitalization. The digitalization surely it will bring a great change in the employment, and also it help enhance the skills of the employees. Okay, so and we can understand that it is though digitalization, those we are going for the work from home, but still there are other countries also where they are suffering from lack of ICT tools. They do not have internet connections. They do not have even proper current, electricity, and all. So the organizations have to think from even from that directions also when they are especially focusing on telecommuting. So that is one important suggestion. Then communication, as I was telling you, it is one important factor which is actually affecting the performance. So the organizations have to take this into consideration seriously. They have to see that there is some mechanism for feedback, especially. They have to understand, they have to go for regular electronic communication. They have to see that there is trust and transparency in whatever they are saying. They have to give the correct instructions to the employees, how to do, what to do, and all, so that the employees will not feel the lack of support or feel the need for additional support from the employees. Okay, so the communication has to be very effective. They have to communicate, they have to conduct meetings regularly, inform them, tell the procedures, tell the process. If they are having effective communication system, automatically the telecommunication will be telecommuting will be very effective for the organization performance. Okay, so they have to take strict measures regarding that. Then the other important thing is especially the safety and health measures. So as the organization, it is we can say that it is the responsibility of every employer to take care of the health of the employees. Okay, especially during the pandemic, the employees were really suffering from mental tension because of the loss of their relatives, the loss of their loved ones, and other things. So the organization has to provide support in terms of maybe any kind of measures, especially protecting them from the physical environment and also the home offices, the working habits, in terms of insurance, in terms of other safety measures, okay, which can apply to teleworking as well. Okay, they have to think about the safety and health measures even when they are working from home. The organizations have to focus on these occupational and safety health standards. Then the legal and contractual implications, yes, these are also very important. The organization has to clarify what are the rules and regulations, especially when working in teleworking. What are the contractual changes, procedures that have to be implemented? What are the legal aspects, especially relating to teleworking? Okay, and they should also have tell about the type of insurance policies that are there for the employees. If suppose if there is any work related accident that takes place during teleworking, so the employees have to be clear, or they have to be clearly mentioned about the terms of the employment, like what are the extra things, the salary things, or the extra benefits they are going to get, the allowances they are going to get. So if the employees are clear about these aspects, I can the telecommuting will be effective, and also it will not raise any kind of doubt and okay, insecurity in the minds of the employees. Then the other important thing is trust and organization culture. So as you all know, trust is a very important thing for making us work in a better way. Okay, so when we believe the organization or when we believe the people, we tend to put our 100% performance. So the organization culture, and it should be in such a way that there should be transparency. Okay, there should be a good leader, and also the kind of trust that should be there in the organization. If the organization is highly motivated, automatically and if there is a good kind of trust, it automatically reflects in the positive way on the organization culture. Okay, so trust is like a glue, you can say, which holds the people together. So the organizations should strive for that. Telework actually cannot be effective without trust. I have to say that. Okay, it's all based on trust. So the organizations have to proactively work on that, and even if the teams are working remotely, the organizations have to take enough measures to build confidence in the employees and also see that they are maintaining good trustful relationships. This is very important for the organizations, especially in the telecommuting environment. If they are having a good organization culture, okay, so these are the important things. And ultimately coming to the work life balance, especially the telecommuting, during telecommuting, the organizations have to take all these measures because of the challenges created by the pandemic. So as I was telling you, it the work life balance especially, it is very challenging during this pandemic time. So the organizations have to understand that it might be telecommuting might be compulsory, or it might become mandatory for some organizations. Okay, so the organizations have to take care, be very careful about these important precautions that have to be taken, so that the organization employees work-life balance will not get affected. If they are happy, automatically they'll be satisfied, and also it will be reflected in good performance for the organizations. Okay, so the organizations have to take the enough measures, especially they have to see that the boundaries, especially the work life and the family life, the which is actually the teleworking is actually removing these boundaries. So the organization have to have separate hours, work hours or office hours. Even when they are doing for going for teleworking, they have to meet the challenges, significant challenges which are arising because of the blurred boundaries, we can say, between the which are caused because of the work life and the personal life. Okay, so it is all depends upon the, I have to say that the management, the organizations, how they handle the situations. That is also depend to the individuals and the leaders who are governing these practices. They have to take the enough measures. Then automatically the organizations can also provide a good work-life balance even in this time of pandemic. Okay, so and in addition to these things, I just want to add other things like, see, we as an employee, so this is just a cartoon picture which is telling about the work imbalance. So he is so busy with his work, he doesn't know like how old his kids are. Okay, so sometimes we are like completely engaged in the works, and we are not even having time for family and all. How it affects our performance in different ways. This is a funny cartoon. Okay, the other last part which I want to tell to you is like about work-life balance. You have to. There are certain steps, especially when you want to know that your work-life balance is good or not. So you have to question yourself. See, like you have to wait for some time. Try to answer the question like, am I really happy with my work? Am I really happy with my family? What are the disturbances that are being created? Okay, is it because of the work, or is it because of the family? How are my feelings getting affected? So you need to elaborate on these issues, analyze these issues. That's important, especially. Then the other important thing is you have to prioritize. You should know which issue is more important, how to prioritize. That is also another important thing, to check yourself whether you are if you're having a effective work life balance or not. Then try to consider the various kinds of alternatives. Okay, try to see that in what ways I can do my work in the best possible way. So there might be many times where you have different ways or methods which you do not explore. So try to consider the different alternatives for effective work life balance. Try to work smart, not long. Okay, so we all know that working long hours, as it is from research also, it is understood that those employees who work more than 55 hours in a week, they are the people who are suffering from more health problems. Okay, maybe not now, but in the future they are subjected to more health problems. It is also having an indirect effect on sleeping habits also. Those people who are under stress, who are having not able to balance, imbalance is actually leading to more stress. It is having an impact on sleep, and that is actually affecting the anxiety and depression of the individuals. So it is very important to take care of this issue, the work-life balance. We are all so much serious with our work, but we are never thinking about the balance. Okay, are we able to? Are we enjoying the work? Are we happy with the work? Are we happy with the family? This is a very important thing. Okay, so everyone expects that we should be successful in both the things. So try to balance to the maximum possible extent. It's up to the individuals only, how you perceive, how you look at things, how you understand the things. So most of the times it's all with us. The ball is in our court only. How we can manage, how we can understand the things. Okay, so there are always choices and alternatives. So you try to think how much I work, how much can I like. delay or postpone for some time. At the same time, concentrate on other important things. Okay, you also think about how I communicate. I have any other options in addition to these things? So try to explore the other ways, and also uh, according to they are telling that the important thing is the last part of the slide. It is telling that there is nothing like work-life balance. It's all about the balance is within us. Okay, so the balance is all within us. There is no such thing as work-life balance. It's all within you. So how you manage the things, how you prioritize things, how you give importance to various things. So it's all within you, in your code. Okay, so the satisfaction or the level of satisfaction, it all depends upon your attitude. Okay, your perception, how you understand things, how you look at things, how you manage your things. So everything is important in life, but there is also ultimately one important saying. They say that work is like a rubber ball. So if you drop it, it will bounce back. But the other four balls, like the family, friends, okay, or the health or the integrity, they are like they are made of glass. So if you drop any of them, you can understand that they might get damaged or even shattered. You might never recover. Okay, so ultimately end up saying that the quality of life. Okay, you can say it's all within you. How you manage, how you balance the things, how you look at things, how you understand things. So if you are happy with your family, you are also happy with your career, and you will be performing better. Okay, so it's all up to you. I expect that you analyze yourself every time. Am I happy with both the things? Try to see that you are happy in both the aspects. Okay, so I feel that maybe I have added some points to the work-life balance. Maybe it might be useful to you. I just told about the research findings that have been done from the latest studies. Okay, so what are the experiences of the researchers after, especially during the period of pandemic? How they felt and what are their experiences? So these are all the things based on the research findings. I have come up with these things. Thank you, ma'am, and once again, I thank all the students and the faculty members who have given me this opportunity.
Thank you, Uma, for your wonderful session, for wonderful words. The final words are very, very useful for everyone, I think. Thank you so much. Now I request Mr. B. Veerabhadrav to propose vote of thanks on behalf of our Department of Commerce of Dr. SRK Government Arts College.
Thank you, madam. Respected dignitaries and dear students, good evening to one and all. This is Mr. B. Veerabhadra Rao, Assistant Professor of Commerce. It is my immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks on the successful completion of the webinar. I, on behalf of Department of Commerce, Dr. SRK Government Arts College, and my own behalf, extend a very hearty and sincere vote of thanks to all the participants. Thank you so much for being with us. At the outset, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to the eminent speaker and our resource person, Dr. P. Uma Maheshwari Devi, for delivering wonderful and insightful address. Madam, your eminent presence has indeed made this event a memorable one, and we unitedly thank you for your valuable and thoughtful words. Madam, you explained the concept of work-life balance, its significance, and its tips to the balanced work life for a healthy and happy life in a lucid manner. Your words are very precious for enhancing the greater productivity, which in the turns helps for the growth of the nation. Thank you, madam. I extend our deep gratitude to Dr. V. Bhaskar Reddy Garu, Principal of Dr. SRK Government Arts College, for his excellent support in organizing academic events. I extended special thanks to Dr. Yogendra Singh, HOD of Commerce, for his support and encouragement in organizing the webinar series. I extended my sincere thanks to the organizing committee members and IQAC coordinator for their contribution towards the grand success of this program. I would like to thank the coordinators of this webinar series, Mrs. Sridevi and Mrs. Sheikh Wazabi, for the continuous support for the success of the webinar. I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude to the convener of the webinar series, Dr. R. Omadevi, for her initiation and continuous support and efforts. Last but not the least, our sincere thanks to Mr. Manikasu, first MCOM, for the technical support in the success of the webinar. Stay connected for the upcoming webinars. Once again, thank you one and all.
Thank you, Veerabhadrao.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, madam.
Once again, I thank you one and all for your continuous support and active participation. So stay connected with us for the upcoming webinars, and happy, healthy, and prosperous New Year in advance to all of you. Thank you. Thank you, Uma.
Same to you, madam.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can I leave now?
Yeah, Uma. Yeah, Uma. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Participant, please check the chat box and fill the feedback link in order to get your certificates.
హలో హలో
అమ్మ క్లోజ్ చేసేద్దాం, ఇంకా అయిపోయారు కదా.
అయిపోయింది మేడం.
అయిపోయింది, క్లోజ్ చేసేద్దాంలే. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
వెబినార్ బాగా జరిగింది కదా మేడం.
బాగా జరిగిందా? థ్యాంక్ యూ.
బాగా జరిగింది. బంతి కూడా పార్టిసిపేట్ చేసింది.
అదే నేను అదే అన్నాను, బంతి పార్టిసిపేషన్ ఎక్కువ అయిపోయింది. నాకు అది అరిచేటప్పటికి నాకు సడన్ గా టెన్షన్ వస్తుంది. అనుకోలేదు అది అరుస్తుందని. ఏమి ఇచ్చినా ఆపట్లేదు. ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇలా చేత్తో ఇస్తున్నాను, అదేమో ఆగట్లేదు.
సార్ లేరా మేడం?
సార్ ఇప్పుడే వచ్చారమ్మా ఆఫీస్ నుంచి. ఉంటే బయటికి తీసుకెళ్ళిపోతుంది.
అదే అనుకున్నాను, ఏంటి బంతి ఇలాగా ఎప్పుడు అరవదు కదా మేడం.
ఏం సడన్ గా అప్పటికప్పుడు మొదలెట్టేసింది అరవటం. అప్పటి వరకు బాగానే ఉంది. సరేనమ్మా, అయితేనే క్లోజ్ చేసేద్దామా?
ఓకే మేడం. ఓకే మేడం.
మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి అన్నా అయిపోయారు అందరూ, ఇంక 3 ఉన్నారు. వాళ్ళు ఎక్కడో
నేనే రిమూవ్ చేస్తాను మేడం.
అవునా? ఓకే, ఓకే.
ఎవరు వెళ్ళట్లేదు మేడం. అందరూ మొబైల్ పక్కన పెడుతున్న వాళ్ళు అర్థమైపోతుంది.
అదే
అందుకే ఒక్కొక్కరు రిమూవ్ చేసింది.
అదే ఓకే, ఓకే.
ఓకే
సరే మణి, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఓకే.